Hello, vlog family. It is bright and early, and by bright and early I mean the sun is nowhere near coming up yet because it's 2 a.m. Dan and I have all of our stuff put together for this trip. We have those, he's got his backpack on, and we're ready to go. Did I mention it's 2 a.m.? We made it. We're both operating off of roughly an hour's sleep. I mean, we made it to the airport. We haven't gotten on a plane yet, but we're at least at the airport and at the gate, so that's progress. I'm tired. Alright, I made it to Charlotte. Now we are just waiting for Edward and Yolanda to get here, and once they get here, then we're going to be hopping in the car for about 4 hours, driving to the beach. So, but this will be a much better 4-hour ride because we'll be with company that we can actually talk and catch up with that we haven't seen in a while, and both Dan and I have gotten enough rest, I think, that we are more recuperated since 2 a.m. So we're actually going to be conversationable, if that's a word, where we will be able to converse. Dan's laughing at me because I'm still tired. What are you doing back there? What are you doing back there? Where are you going? Alright, well, never mind him. That's Harley. Alright, it is Monday. Dan and I had all of that traveling yesterday. As you guys saw, the few little clips that I took, we were so tired and just so exhausted. Excuse you. He's having a great time. But we are at our Airbnb now, and that's Harley. He lives here. We had a great time yesterday once we finally got here. We got, Edward and Yolanda picked us up at the airport in Charlotte, and we, from the airport, directly drove here. And, we stopped for lunch, got some food, and drove here. And the last, 2 hours of the drive, it was an almost 4-hour drive altogether. The last 2 hours, 3 of the 4 of us were conked out asleep. And then we got here, we got to the Airbnb, and none of us knew that there was going to be a dog here. So when we opened up the door and Harley's just chilling on the couch staring at us, we're all like, who are you? So we got to love on him. Very, very sweet dog, very playful, very adorable. And then after we got here, we got settled, and then we all headed out. Edward and Dan met with Josh, who is the groom, and the other groomsmen, and they all went and did a bachelor party. They went out to eat, and then they went to an escape room, and Dan took just a tiny little bit of footage there because you aren't able to film in the actual escape room. So he took just a little bit of footage of them getting ready to go into the escape room. So this is what you're looking at. And while they were off doing that, Yolanda and I went out and hung out for a few hours, and we ended up going to a pho restaurant, a Vietnamese restaurant. So I had my first Vietnamese food, which was delicious, and I'm very glad I was with Yolanda because she told me everything I needed to know about it. And it was absolutely delicious. We were there for over 2 hours, just sitting and talking and eating this gigantic bowls of soup. And then after that, Yolanda and I ended up coming back to the Airbnb, and we hung out for a little bit. Dan and Edward came back, and it was close to midnight by the time that they got home. And then we all crashed and slept in until 9:30 this morning. And that's where we are now. We're all hanging out. We got to meet the owner of the house, and he's super cool. Finally learned Harley's name today. Didn't know his name, and I've just been calling him Puppy, and then we finally learned his name today. But yeah, now we're just hanging out, chilling a little bit. Yolanda and I are gonna do some searches to find some good brunch places, and we're all gonna go out and eat. And then this afternoon we have the rehearsal dinner and the wedding rehearsal. And then tomorrow all day is wedding stuff.
I know. You want to take that. You don't get the toy. about like some resources that you feel would be helpful for that. And it just so happened that
In the background?
No.
Do you want to add music?
Yeah, like
It's just there.
We wanted you to, but the deal is this, we're having it kind of late.
you did that pretty well.
Yeah, so now having that open area, I can't wait to build it. Kind of throws it off.
Oh, wow, I've never seen that happen. I've honestly never seen
Dunkin' Donuts?
Actually, technically it shouldn't be till the 14th, 15th of October.
Just got that. Oh my gosh, I never knew.
Yolanda and I have come out to do some exploring, and we're walking around like the downtown historic areas of Wilmington, which there's Yolanda. And we've come up to this Bellamy Mansion Museum, and we're not going to be able to go in because we don't have time to go for like on a whole tour or anything. But look at how pretty this is, and just like how completely massive it is. We just found a Christmas year-round store, so we're checking that out. We actually got Dan to come to the beach. I didn't think this would happen, but we did it. Okay, I have no idea how much you can hear, so I'm gonna kind of yell, but Dan and I have found this I don't know, it's a shell of some sort, and we've been throwing it into the ocean and it keeps coming back, so we're basically playing fetch with the ocean. And then give it a couple minutes and it'll just wash up on the shore again, and then we'll throw it out again. Yep, there it is. See, we're playing fetch with the ocean. The house that we're staying at well, we're not staying here actually. The house that the wedding party, bride and all of the bride's family and everything is staying at, is right next to the beach. And it's absolutely gorgeous. All of the scenic pictures of like the marsh area that you saw, that's out their back door. This is out their front door. That's the ocean right there. And it sounds amazing because all you hear is waves, and it's absolutely glorious. We just got done walking up and down the beach a bunch, and it was so nice. Hello, I am back home now. We got home yesterday, probably about 3 o'clock, and relaxed a little bit because on Wednesday nights we have church service as well, and Dan is actually leading a 5-part teaching series on Wednesday nights, and it's his first class was yesterday. So we got home at 3 p.m. No, not 3 p.m. We had to have gotten home earlier than that. We got home at 2:30 probably. But then we were at the church by 5 to get everything set up, and for me to set up my camera because I'm recording it, because there's been a lot of people who are wanting to see this teaching series, but that they don't live in the area. So I'm going to record it, and we're actually going to start a new YouTube channel for Dan that we're going to put these recordings on And then in the future, if Dan wants to do any other sort of short teaching videos, then they'll go up on that channel as well. So when that channel is created and when those videos start being posted, I will make sure to let you guys know in the vlog and I will link it in the description whenever it happens. So you can go check it out if you want to follow that as well. But yeah, so we had to get there super early because then we also had our sound guy recording the audio, so it would be good audio. That all went really well, but we are both exhausted. Dan had to work today, so he is at work currently. I've been home vegging. I slept in so late this morning because I just needed to catch up on sleep because travel is exhausting and I am exhausted from it. So I feel rejuvenated now. I have my water bottle back, which I am so thankful for because I was essentially a dehydrated desert the entire trip because I didn't have this with me and I didn't drink hardly any water while we were gone. I'm very happy to have that back. But now we're just catching up on different household things. Mom is getting frozen pizza for us for dinner so we don't have to cook, which is also great.